Okay. Yes. Can't wait. Oh shit. Oh shit. Phone is too hot. My phone is too hot. Okay, my mom. Phone is too hot, so I'm gonna freeze it. I made another mistakes. Thought I could take it now. Don't feel a thing I never cared about. I miss the way you say my name, the way you bend, the way you break. Phone is too hot. Okay. Dude, I need to hurry because I want to get the sunset. I miss the way you say my name, the way you bend, the way you break. Okay, the phone is cold now. Phone is great. Okay, that's good.
That's not really well.
Don't blink, it's your blank. Follow filming the wrong thing because doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. There's a beautiful sunset behind me, so I'm gonna be filming that. We have a couple of videos to do tonight, which is great. Just did for a little bit, which felt really nice. And that's pretty much it. So cannot wait to show you what we have in store. Gonna be a little bit of own thoughts. Gonna be a little bit of a Squid Game. It's gonna be fun. Okay. Love's a there for peace of mind. Don't blink, it's your blink. Welcome to our show. Because I'm doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this 3rd July 2025. I'm gonna make a couple of videos, but here's the sunset. We have a sunset that's quite nice today. It's weird because yesterday was kind of way better. I'm also like kind of like how can I say that? Somewhat picky about the weather today because we had such an amazing weather. We had clouds, then rain, then sun. No, yes, sun, cloud, rain, cloud, sun. Then we had cloud, and now we have sun. So, but I would have had to film the whole nature of today, which would have been beautiful. Don't blink as you're flying. Look behind me. Look how nice this is. This is gorgeous. Look at the walk. He's having a wonderful day on this. Oh shit! I forgot to share my phone. On this 3rd July 2025. Today we're talking about a pretty cool video. And this video is called Spreading Thin. So what is spreading thin? Spreading thin is it's an expression when you're tired, when you're doing a lot at the same time. So lately, and again, this is kind of somewhat of a rant, somewhat of a complaining, but it's more so a state of mind, a state of body. I'm not as sad as this baby. I'm not as sad as this baby. I'm a bit better, but barely. So first of all, this kind of feeling worse because we're having quench pineapple pink lemonade. Kind of feeling worse because I'm holding myself accountable. So a lot of things changed lately, but a lot of things changed since the last. This is not gonna make any sense. This is the last time we were in that situation. So on paper, what is that situation? Well, we're working, right? Spreading thin is between work, between those videos, between the streaming. So what changed? Well, technically speaking, I'm holding myself a lot more accountable. A lot more accountable. For example, if I'm doing something wrong or if I'm not working enough, I feel bad about it. Before I used to feel bad, but it wasn't the feeling bad of it's complex. It is complex. Your mentality, your perception are really important. So, for example, oh by the way, I want to shout out Janice because Janice reached out lately and he said, "Dude, I saw the video that you were giving up. Don't give up." So I'm like, "Okay, well, thank you so much." So like I was saying, with the job, it's a bit. Last time that I had a job, I wasn't accountable. It was if I miss a day, for example, I miss a day. I'm like, well, you missed a day, right? Now I'm like, okay, well, what was the point of working hard yesterday because now you're working better? Or even then, even now, I'm a bit smarter because technically speaking, at work I could cheat. So what I would do is I would upload a lot of videos at home and I would upload a lot of videos at work. Work Wi-Fi was actually pretty good, and the boss didn't trust me with my phone, so he left the phone in. However, it was gorgeous. No, it was gorgeous. You know why? Because he had the Wi-Fi router and his office, so I was having high-speed internet the whole day. I could upload and upload and upload. So right now it's like I do my phone is too full and I can upload, and when it's not full enough, like really an opportunity to upload. Right, there's a lot of content I can do, but this is a rainy font for bad days. So there's still this guilt, but it's a different guilt. So why we spread thin? Well, technically speaking, it's more so like a mindset, like how you feel about it. So for example, what happened is when I had my job before, I was crazy. I wouldn't sleep. I would be. I would go to sleep at 7, and I would wake up at like 3 in the morning. Stream for 3 hours and a half, and then that was my day. Which, you know, was not the bad, but not the worst. Now, there's this fear again of there is this fear of going back into this mode that made me go insane. Before we continue with this is gonna sound very negative, right? But this is this is the obstacle before we end goal. Are you kidding me? Phone is too hot. if and only if we make it, there's gonna be nirvana. I'm joking when I say if and only if. We're gonna make it for sure. But if we can, it's gonna be nirvana. So what is the ultimate goal here? The ultimate goal is perfect equilibrium. I have a stable job, which brings an income, but also stability and structure to my life, which is extremely positive. See, I don't work enough to spend, and I don't make enough to really go crazy. So we're working. We're working, and yes, we're making more money than before. But at the same time, yes, it's still a case of okay, well, you made enough to pay your bills, but you didn't make enough to splurge. Splurge is getting luxury for yourself, like a restaurant or shit like that. So the ultimate goal would be to have like a perfect balance. So, for example, I'm working and I'm making a bit more so I can splurge, but also work. So kind of like a risk and rewards. We'll get into it a bit later. But even then, the flow that I have right now is great because it brings me structure. And although I made a video about 2 days ago saying, well, I don't feel like I'm getting enough structure. The problem is me. If you feel like this job is temporary, it's very hard to have structure. And I talk about that. If you start to have this job and you're starting to feel like, hey, guess what? This is a bit more of a how can I say this? Doesn't matter how long I stay here. Doesn't matter how much I make here. All that matters is that I'm working right now. All that matters is I have a reason to wake up. Now, before that, I have a reason to wake up. Absolutely. But the reason itself is actually quite selfish. The reason to wake up is to make something for myself. Now, I gotta wake up and I gotta go work and I gotta pay bills, which I used to pay also, but in a way of I am in charge of everything. And I'm not expressing myself correctly. When I say I'm in charge of everything, I mean, okay, guess what? This is the exact way I wanted to say it. I'm having a hard time because I'm very tired today. Very tired. I've been talking a lot about accountability, right? But there's a huge difference between accountability to yourself and accountability to someone. Right now we have accountability to someone else. Like I have a quota to fix, and if I don't reach it, well, I didn't work hard enough. Doesn't matter how hard the quota is or how far we are from the quota. Okay, good, we did. Sorry guys, the phone overheated. So the quota, by having a quota, you're becoming accountable for somebody else, and even then, this is actually really positive because I used to see. Well, I have to be honest and say I had a lot of good bosses. I had shitty bosses, but I had great bosses. Some of my bosses were really nice and kind and really helpful and really kind of like a mentorship ability. Today was actually super emotional because talk about mortality with my parents, which is not good. To talk about dying and what they're gonna leave behind and my responsibility when they die. Can I be the man of the house even though the house is broken? You know. So with the bosses giving me accountability, it was before, and I'll be completely honest, I've had a lot of problems with bosses because with bosses I try to be friendly with the bosses, and I don't. When I was younger, my father wanted me okay. So in French, we have two things. We have tu, and tu is the popular thing, and vous is respectful. So you're talking to a elder or somebody that's more powerful than you. So you say Mr. Officer. You don't say Yo Officer. You say Mr. Officer. Teacher, ma'am, Mister. You don't say Hey yo. You know, my father wanted to be like that. So with authority, it was actually really hard because my father was being loving, but then at the same time being authoritative. So at a very young age. It's not bad. Yeah. You see, you can feel insecure with that. my whole building is kind of messed up, you know. And yeah, this is kind of this with the neighbor. It's kind of what I'm saying with it spread thin. Just a lot of little things that need attention. And because there's a lot of little things that need attention, you give attention here, 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 and like, oh my god, you know. So with my bosses, there was always this relationship of kind of friendship, right? So for this one, it's really a relationship of you're the boss. Now, technically speaking, it feels odd, because in the past, whenever I'm off work, whenever I don't work, so what, I told you this story multiple times. So what I'll do is I'll work really fucking hard, and then we'll take a little break, and we'll do like a year of full work and 6 months of breaks. And usually what I'm able to do is really to step out, to completely set off. So you guys know, leave your work at work and leave your home at home. So if you're doing 9 to 5, at 5 o'clock your work is done, you put a switch off the work, right? And with me, since I'm working on concentration, it's not the same thing, of course, but it's still some kind of work, or it's still effort being put there. So it's harder to flash the switch off. And then the hardest thing is I have a lot of buses. The bus is like 52 minutes, which is not a lot, but it depends. It depends. Like, for example, sometimes I'm able to sleep, and I put an alarm, which is great. So this is really helpful. But sometimes I'm thinking, and then I'm trying to read a manga, but I don't have the attention that I used to have. You know, I'm less zoned out. I'm more out there. For example, when I'm going to be reading something, like, oh, this is a good idea for a conversation instead of a video, you know. So spreading thin is kind of that. It's a little bit of here and there, you know. Now, am I kidding with that? Yes, this is bother me. No, people have their own problem, and a mosquito. I saw my father today, and he saw my legs. Like, holy shit, they got you good. Because I'm a dumbass, I wore a sort of a long sleeve, the leg shorts, it's the fireworks. I didn't wear a long pants. They got my legs good, guys, good. Yeah, so the spreading thing is a bit that, you know. And then you start asking yourself a question. Well, if I was able to do it before, I should be able to do it now, right? Well, technically, no. Because when I was working for a company that I used to work, basically my second home, at the end I was focused on work. I was focused on content. I was at work, and I had this how may I say that? The job that I was doing, yes, did it take mental? Yes, a little bit. So, for example, when you start an order, you have to say, okay, well, there's this order, for example, it's this much, well, is this much per boxes, this is how much we need. Checking your code, is the code good? Checking your plastic that we're putting in between the pieces of metal. Is the metal good, the piece of plastic good? Is the metal the right side? Are you turning it around, or you're not turning it around? You know, it's a bit of preparation, but once your preparation is done, it's basically, and I love that. It was a lot of automatism or muscle memory. So you basically take a piece. You guys saw the work that I did. I did some come and work with me. You guys saw the work that I did. You take a piece of metal, you put it on a belt or a moving belt. You push it. The machine will take it, and the machine will do all the work. You just have to put the pieces there and push them. So why are they not doing automatic? Because some of the pieces are going to be like damaged, if you will, and they're going to be stuck in the machine. So you have to have a human component and verify the pieces and make sure they're okay. But I could turn off my brain. With the job that I have right now, it's my brain is, you know, so it's less physical. I think that's also the case. It's less physical and more mental. So when I go to work, I'm mental. When I make content, I'm mental. And the funny thing is actually more so for you guys, because, for example, I have a couple people, but more so Janice, because, like I said, Janice is my best friend, and we're super close, and is possibly one of the only, if not the only person I talk to on a daily basis. And he was like, hey, I'm always missing your stream. And the thing with Janice is he prefer talking on the stream. I'll watch the videos, I'll comment, but it's not the same. And even then we're DMing, and I know that he prefers talking to me on timeline. I'm busy with work, and I feel like kind of like I want to stream because I want to talk to him. For example, today I wasn't working today, so my goal was like, okay, well, I've been able to do so much, but I was so tired from the recent week that I couldn't do much. Right? Again, I went to see my father today. I talked about mortality. And it really affected me because I made like I said in the other video, where my parents are getting up in age. They thought they could die anymore. And even then, I did a video where they talk about, oh, when they will be dead. And at first this morning I was kind of affected by it because I was like, well, you want to think about your parent dying, right? But then when you talk about death, they don't mean tomorrow. They mean like in 5 years, in 10 years you'll be dead. So when you're my age, when you turn 2, when you're 30, when you're 25, you don't have this mentality of I'm gonna die tomorrow. But imagine if you knew that you didn't have a lot left. You make the most out of it, right? So yeah, that's kind of important. My mom, she had a lot of health issues, blood work, her AC, I don't know you guys call it your stroke. Yeah. My father, a bit healthier, but my father's a bit healthier. He doesn't have problem, but then he's a lot more crap than my mom. His legs are not good anymore. You see, and it sucks. It sucks because there's a bit of denial here for sure. It's my parents and the first thing I'm not seeing weak people. I'm seeing people that are strong. I'm seeing people that are independent. I'm seeing people that I grew up with. Like I love these fucking people, But then that's not how they feel. You see this guy, and there's always this image of this person, right? And they're always telling you, hey, I'm good. And they're not good. What if my parents were lying to me? What if my parents were not feeling perfect, but they had to pretend like they're feeling perfect because they didn't want me to work? With the agency, my work hasn't been, and it's been really rough. But at the same time, I think real friendship and I think real relationship endure struggles. So if you want to know if a friend is good, have a fight. Don't create a fight, but if there's a fight between you, a real friend will say, you know what, fuck it, it's not a big deal. When I was talking about spreading 10, I was talking about Janice and me. And it's not the guy. I fucking love Janice. I fucking love him. He's my best friend. The guy isn't asking me to go live. Say, oh, I miss you. Go live. He knows I'm working. He's mature enough, but also compassionate enough. I think compassionate is a much better term. He's emotionally intelligent enough to say, you know what, this guy is tired. I'm gonna put pressure on him. Now, as a human being, as your friend, do I want to be that guy that you kind of have to take care of? No, I want to be able to take care of myself, and I want to be that guy to help you. But he understands, so he's not pushing me, but I feel guilty because I fucking love that guy, and I do miss him. And it's like this person, and this I'm gonna say it's, I'm gonna sound like an asshole, but I don't mean to be an asshole. It's like this boyfriend or this girlfriend that always tell you, hey, I love you. And they're always telling you I love you, and it loses meaning, right? So for example, this person, you haven't been on a date with them in months. They're telling you a single day, I love you. Okay, well, you're gonna have to show me. So if I tell people like, hey, I miss you, but I don't do an effort to talk to them or to reach out, it's harder. I had Shao, again, one of my best friends, fucking love Shao. Shao and I, we had a lot of issue lately. And the funniest thing is, this is the opposite now. It's complete opposite. So Shao went to school, and he goes to, he works. So at the time he's busy, right? So then he'll text me, and then I'll answer the text, and then it'll leave me on read. So I'm like, dude, I know you're working a lot, but if you're not answering the text, I'm gonna start thinking like, did I do something wrong? Is he mad at me? Which is insecurities, of course, it's my fault, but still. The phone got too hot. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this and this. Um, yeah, this phone got wet because we played the tower. So with Chow, now that I'm working and making content, I'm actually busy, and that's the craziest thing because Chow right now, his school is closed, so he has like I think it's a year and a half of school. I'm not sure, but I think it's a year and a half. So now he has this vacation, and he wants to chill. So then, what happened is because we don't talk a lot, lately he went to a concert, which is one of my favorite bands. But I didn't know they were doing a concert, and I was like, holy shit! And I saw his video because he put it on in his Instagram story, and I saw the video and I'm like, holy shit! I can't believe you saw them. It's like, yo, they were crazy, and it was cool because I had my boy. Of course, I wish I was there. Of course, I wish he told me. At the same time, you gotta be happy for your boy because he had a good time. Now the problem is, he felt bad about me not going. And he sent me some pictures and some footage of the. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. Actually, I. I asked for it, but not didn't ask for it. So I did a video saying I'm gonna ask people for footage of fireworks. Um, so technically speaking, I did that. Let's say I did that at I did that at 10:30 because it was the fireworks, and I texted Shaw at like midnight, and at midnight he sent me the footage. So I didn't ask for him to send me the footage because I didn't send the videos, but I did the videos asking for it. So he sent me some footage, and I was like, holy shit! And then I was like, please, dude, and this gonna be part of me. I asked him, can I use it for YouTube? Because I kind of wanted to. Sometimes I'll show some conversation with people, but I'll always show positive conversation. I'll always show like people that I really care about, I really like. So what? Okay, good. I thought I was not recording. I am recording. Overeat it again. What the heck? What I'll do is like I'll know people. I know people. So for example, I'm gonna sound like I have such a small circle, such a small circle. With Janice, Janice is often, very very often, fucking way too often actually. Um, when he knows I'm not gonna do well, and Janice is, I'm telling you, this guy is fucking brilliant. So he knows me a lot. He knows that I don't like to talk about the problem. So what I'll do is, for example, he watched a video, and I did a video last week and said, oh, I feel like quitting. He didn't talk about it. He didn't talk about it. But then he sent me a song. And I was like, hey, I know that I saw the video where you're talking about quitting, and this is what I need to listen when I feel like I'm giving up. So without talking about the problem, he talked about the problem. And which is a way of comfortable. So, because that I know Janice likes surprises. I know that he likes small attention. I know Shaw's a bit more shy. Shaw's a bit more reserved. So I asked for the confirmation. Say, hey, can I post it? And by saying, can I post it, I kind of implied I was going to post it. I said, yes, brother, no problem. There is a problem though. And there is a big problem. The kind of day was the 1st of July. He had to me early morning, 2nd of July, like 5-6 o'clock in the morning, and I haven't posted yet. So then, this guy did everything in his power, and I would have content. Like, you know what? After that you missed the show, I'm still gonna hook you up. Now, did he film for me? No. He filmed and he's not gonna say, yo, I have a picture if you want, which is really, really thoughtful. When you want to do something for someone, don't ask them. Just do it. But then because I didn't post it, I'm like, fuck, dude. That was not relevant. Because it's not as relevant, it's my fault. Because if I posted the second one, people were going crazy. And if I posted tonight, people were going to say, wait, that was 3 days ago. What are you doing? This is how quick life goes, right? So thing 10 is a little things. I had a person today reach out to me and say, hey, can I get unbanned? It's been a year. Now, I'm going to do a very, very, very quick way. I'm going to do a very quick recounting of what happened with that person. The reason they banned him. They're a bit younger, so a bit of immaturity, but we used to play this game all night, and it was a really hard game. But this guy's like a pro, so then he would see me play, and he would kind of make fun of the content. And he did that a lot. So then every time I would go after the stream, I would kind of go to give him shit like, bro, what you said was not okay. Don't do that, okay? But then every time I would go, and that was the crazy thing. before the stream finished, he would come in my DM and say, "I'm sorry, dude, I was a dick to you today. I had a rough day." No, I understand what's a rough day. And then, because I didn't know him a lot, when he asked me to be a mod, now here's the crazy thing. Because Twitch I don't get a lot of people, I'll make people that it doesn't matter who I make mod. Because if I had like 50 people in the stream, I would trust a couple people. Now because we have 0, if you're a mod, what can you do? You're gonna mute yourself. You're the only person in here. So I modded him. And then when I saw that he was complaining about all night, I stopped playing the game. It's like, okay, well, the only view that I have is kind of giving me shit. And I have another game. And then he started doing, I was streaming and he was making comments. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? This is so disrespectful. I banned him. And then when I got a message today, my first thought was like, oh, well, it's been a year. Like, give the guy a chance. But then at the same time, I've been adamant about making the place a little bit more secure. Now Twitch, I don't have a lot of people, but TikTok I do have a lot of people. And TikTok, I got amazing mods. Jordan, Janice, Anna, she's wonderful. I got Andrew. Andrew's a badass. Andrew's a badass. Who else do I have? Well, that one don't really come often. So I got Silver Mo that comes in, and I got, that's pretty much it. I think for mods for TikTok, it's a bit more of a secure place. I want to make it a habit. I want to get to be. So then I was like, well, if you unban him, you don't have a lot of people in your stream, so it wouldn't be such a big deal. Because the guy asked you nicely, but at the same time, I'm like, well, why you were so adamant at making it a safe place? What changed, right? And I think explaining 10 is the reason why. I feel like between two worlds, in one world, I'm the nice guy that allows people, forgive people, which is something I did before. This guy I forgive multiple times. I did this for 2 weeks, and every single night he had an excuse. So I met him. And on the other hand, I'm like, well, I know what you did, and although you possibly change, possibly mature, if I allow this behavior, if I say yes to people ask me, why don't you never have people in your corners on TikTok? Well, because I had people and they fucked it up. I had a girl, and she was like, and to my defense, I didn't know. She was like 14, 15, 14, 15. And you're like, so she wanted to come up. I'm like, sure, no problem. This was my first guest. And I made a mistake. I made a big mistake because it was my first time having a guest. I didn't know how to kick people out. So she comes in, and the first thing she says is talking about penises. And like, you're allowed to talk about penis, but that's with an adult. A kid, they should talk about penises and an adult. But I know that she was a kid, no. Even then, even if she was a kid, did I care about having her in the street? No, as long as you're a good person, I don't care what age you are. As long as this is a safe place again, a safe place. And then she starts saying the N-word. And I'm like, okay, well, I couldn't kick her out. So then it was a bad experience, so I don't do it again. And it's all those little things you can't really let go, but you want to let go, and that's pretty thin. Like, for example, the whole thing was about cheating. So the spreading thin is actually quite simple. Today Nature Corner was crazy nice. It was so beautiful. Oh my god, you have no idea. It wasn't beautiful in the sense of something special happened, but it was just a lot of wind. And with a lot of wind, clouds went out. This clear sky was blue. Sky went out. I don't know if you can see the moon. The moon here. You can see the moon in the mountain. Which kind of shitty. So yeah, so it was just a whole bunch of stuff. It was just a whole bunch of stuff, but it was positive today because there's some Squid Game videos. So the recap we did wasn't mental, but it was there. We did a mental video this morning about okay, you're so good. About separating the artist from the content, which I really like doing. But at the same time, most of what we did today I don't want to say stupid because it's not stupid, it matters to me, but it was stupid in the sense of it doesn't take effort. So for example, and this, again, is possibly an excuse, possibly not an excuse, I don't know. I'm doing a recap, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the computer here, and I'm going to stick the recap in the scene. because I remember seeing, I'm gonna be able to tell you. Now, technically speaking, this is cheating because you're not really saying from what you understand. You're not really saying this from what you kind of cover, right? But at the same time, you're visual learners. There's two kinds of learner: visual, and understand something by seeing it, and auditive, understanding by being told what to do, explaining what to do. You know, I had this fight with this guy at work, and he told me 3 times because at the end he really started trusting me. He said, "I want this like that," and he told me horizontal and vertical, and I wasn't sure what he meant. I thought he meant the pieces, but he meant the So you had the piece and you had 2 beams of metal, and then you kind of framed the piece on the piece of metal, not a piece of metal. So then I got a chuckle, and I said, he said to me 3 times, I said, "I know, but I'm a visual learner." He said, "Well, tell me, dude." Okay, I'm sorry. You know, and I'm a visual learner, so maybe this is tools. I had a talk with a friend lately about tools and how useful they are. Photoshop, program to make music, really, 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 and these tools, so you need to use them. For example, I was kind of against, and this is actually a good subject. I was kind of against ChatGPT. On principle. I know that you guys know that I'm a bit uncomfortable with AI. What I'm gonna do, not today, but in the near future, I want to sit down with a person, and they really explain to me AI and how useful it is and shit like that, right? Because I want to get into it. You shouldn't be afraid. Me being afraid, me avoiding it, it's not gonna change anything. You know, so with ChatGPT, I was a bit against it. Now, it's not because it's AI. It's against it because, and I feel like so old. But when Google came, the first time Google came, people were against Google because it took away critical thinking. So the critical thinking is what? Critical thinking is you have some kind of information, and because you have some kind of information, you can do something. So, for example, a police officer that's gonna find some clues. Because he finds some clues, he's gonna have an ID or a thought process. Like, okay, well, we know that this is there. Here's 1 + 1 = 2. With Google, it wasn't a way of remembering things. It wasn't a way of looking. So the calculator was the same thing. Before the calculator, people really had to focus on math because you didn't have tools to use. You can have a piece of paper and do the math correctly, but then it was more so like a mental exercise. Calculator, it made things easy. It was a tool. Now the tool helps you out, but also was a crutch. The crutch of being able to calculate shit quickly and without mistakes, you know. And mistakes are important because in life you make mistakes. So when ChatGPT came, I was like, holy shit, dude. This is another way of Google. It's another way of asking a question. But at the same time, this is from the point of view of making life easy, it's questionable, but at the same time, what do you prefer? You prefer to come up with an answer that's wrong, or you prefer to have an answer that is correct and a good answer. And I think a good answer trumps over a bad answer. You know? So then, in this case, I want to be right. And at the same time, I want to have kids when I'm older. Or, I want to have kids at first, for sure. And this is what really changed my mind. I want the best for my kids. I want them to learn the most. I want them the best. I want them to have the easiest time in life. I think it's very normal as a parent to want that. If my kids have a learning tool, am I gonna stop them from learning? Right? No. I'm not gonna stop them from learning because I want them to be equipped for life. You see, as a kid, I was wrong. As a kid, I thought, you know what? It doesn't matter what you learn in school because you're not gonna use it. And to this day, I still think that. Apart from math, am I really using something that I learned in school? And the answer is no. However, do I prefer knowing something but not using it, or not knowing it and needing it? I prefer knowing something and not using it, right? That's pretty much it. Now we did a side tangent, let's back to the subject. The funny thing is, I feel like And this is kind of crazy because with the recap, I have a lot more content to do. With the nice nature out there, I got a lot of content to do. So, for example, today there was three different weather. There was rain, there was thunder, there was a bit of sunshine, there was cloud. I wanted to get on the camera, right? Now with the tower, this is stupid. This is so fucking stupid. It's laziness. It's laziness, but it's also something that's important. So the tower, I have 700 parts on the tree, and I did the tower a year before I started 700 parts. So in total, we have over 3,000 parts of the tower. I'm not even kidding. I'm not gonna put them all on TikTok. Why? Because TikTok asked me to. First of all, TikTok will only allow you up to an hour. So I'm playing the tower 6 hours a day. I need to do 6 videos. Also on TikTok, right? If I put it on TikTok, then I have to calculate storage for both for YouTube and TikTok. And then most of my days are winning that my space do. So more of the time what I do, and this is kind of self-sabotage, but it's actually smart. So when I do a video outside, it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. Something that I have to quit. I'll make an hour video. Well, no, that's not true. I'll make an hour videos. For example, I make a video that's 20 minutes, 40 minutes. I'll do an hour, 40 minutes, because why? I want to have the 3 towers. But I also want to have this video that's recording, and I want to have this video that's recording the nature part. That would do 6 videos, 5 videos at the same time. Which is a lot, but hey, this is how I choose to do things. And because I chose to do things like that, then this is what's gonna happen. Is it the right thing to do? No. Is it the wrong thing to do? Possibly. Do I give a shit? I do give a shit. But in a sense of maybe text me. The guy was supposed to unblock. Text me. Said, oh, I didn't even do anything. And again, this is this is technically, this is the case. Yeah, the guy I was supposed. No, I'm so sorry. The guy that asked me to get unbanned today wrote to me. I didn't do anything. So, there's a case to be made. If you feel like, if you don't feel like you're doing something wrong, then you're not doing something wrong. If somebody told you that punching somebody is mean, and if you punch somebody, you wouldn't know that it's mean. Look at babies. And again, this is very far-fetched. This is a very crazy story. Look at babies. Babies, they play rough. They'll hit you, right? It's nature. It's human nature. As parents, you're like, no, don't hit him. That hurts. Don't hit people, right? Don't hurt people. Don't put your hands on the stove. Don't touch fire. Don't put something metallic in the outlet. You learn that. As a kid, you don't know that's bad, right? If somebody told you that's bad, you're gonna do it because it's human nature. Look at dogs, look at animals. They play rough. We call it play fighting. Play fighting is super important. A lot of animals do play fighting. You see kids doing play fighting, you see babies doing play fighting. You see brothers and sisters do that. Yeah, I guess you see that. And it's because you live. So this person doesn't feel like you did anything wrong. Because if you don't feel anything wrong, you don't understand. Well, it depends. You don't understand or you don't comprehend the principle that, okay, I did something wrong. And can you blame them for that if you don't think that they did something wrong? I don't know. For spreading tin, I feel like the problem we have is with the videos. Because, okay, I was talking about the tower. So because I don't want to put it on TikTok, I'll do it on purpose. And this is lazy as fuck, but I don't care. I'll do like an hour, 2 minutes. I'll do an hour, 3 minutes. As long as I don't have to put it on TikTok, I'm happy. As long as I don't have to put it on TikTok, I'm happy. I'm be asked again by a mosquito. Understand? So yeah, so this is the main plot of laziness. But then, in a day like today, I have to do 3 hours. Or like yesterday. Well, when I come in, if it doesn't nice. This morning we did a video. This morning was sunrise. I made a video. I didn't care how long the video was, as long as it's more than 1 hour. Why? For the tower. And then there's also games that I'm playing. And game that I'm playing is game that I'm playing are Gundam, which I'm gonna take a break from, and Blood and Soul, which are really good games. Gundam I'm gonna take a break because I'm speedrunning the story. I did 3 seasons and 2 weeks. Just screening the TV. Let me show you something cool. Literally outside. Literally outside and listening to the TV. Yes, the apartment's a mess. Okay, I understand. I know. I'm tired. I'm talking about how tired I am when clean up the apartment. So yeah, so it's a bit of a so the game that I'm playing, the mobile. Okay. So it is somewhat marketing, somewhat. Did you hear me? Somewhat marketing, somewhat of a bad plot. So what I'll do is a game. By the way, we're gonna do another video where I'm deadly against Fortnite's latest thing. So Fortnite's latest thing is buy now, pay later. They're going to create a credit base. So for example, you want to buy this skin, you'll pay it later. We trapped a mosquito in the window. Hopefully it doesn't go out. Which is horrible. With mobile game, what they'll do is, because you got your mobile on you, they'll do your dailies. The dailies take 20 minutes, 40 minutes to do. And you play multiple games, you have multiple days to do. Then I need to do them dailies because then it feels like I don't play the game. And again, when you're recording content, it's a bit more complicated if you're not. Like for example, right, I used to play this game. Don't You Go Break the Chain. Don't You Go Break the Chain was amazing. I loved Don't You Go Break the Chain. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And it was one of the popular series that I did because I was one of the only person that covered it. Right? Why did I stop then? Because I did the dailies. So what I did is, it feels so good. What do you think this? Don't use this, please. This is bad behavior. It's not a mosquito, I don't care. So what they do is the game was kind of new. What they did was they came in and they were like, yo, we're gonna be doing some events that are similar, not the same, but similar. And then because this game is kind of new, people didn't try the event because the player base was so little that, okay, so for example, right, you're showing a show, or you're showing a movie, and you chose a bad time to show it. You chose a day where there was a UFC fight, and people didn't watch it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna show it again. First of all, you pay for the right. Second of all, it's complex actually. Is that something bad? I don't think it's bad. I think it's bad. You want your game to shine, so when you have a good ID, you want people to take advantage of the ID. And if you don't feel like people take advantage of the ID, no. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of insane. But coming back to the story, for sure it's already, holy shit. So the dailies, you have to do them. You have to do them. And when you do them, even though it's 45 minutes, you end up playing an hour. Because again, I'm allowed an hour on TikTok, so I'm going to do an hour. The same penalty of the tower would be opposite. So instead of doing 5 parts, I'll do 2 parts in an hour. Instead of doing 5 parts in 40 minutes, I'll do 2 parts in an hour. Which is kind of similar. So technically 4 parts of 40 minutes is 160, which is an hour to 40. No, 2 hours 40, sorry. Versus 2 hours, right? then you do it twice, so you do it 4 hours, and then you don't stream. The reason that you didn't stream it because the game you're playing, there's no dailies, there's no incentive to go. Well, technically no. Fortnite have dailies. Typically, Fortnite would be an incentive, but apart from that, you don't really matter. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. And it's nice. It's nice. It was really nice because it's not. I feel like I'm working less. But there's more content management. There's more. For example, when I used to work at PCT, I didn't do nature porn. I didn't do nature porn at all. When I was working at PCT, this is what I'm trying to say also. When I was looking at 50, I was doing 40 hours a week. So the content was kind of divided because don't make it my part. Sorry about this. Part 2, the phone overheated. So not my fault. When I was working at PCT, part 2 of Stenton, on this 3rd July 2005. Intro, not my forte. So when I was working at PCT, I had a schedule, and it was a job that was very physical, so I was tired. So even then, this is the crazy part. Even then, that I worked 8 hours, now that we did 2 hours of content, I still felt like I had a mistake. I still felt which again is legal, but yet it is complaining from it if I don't answer. Because he saw me a couple of times with music, and he's like, okay, well, he's not answering because he didn't hear me. I'm gonna go in because he didn't hear me. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna leave the chain off. I can't go in. You can open the door, but can't open the lock. If I have to do this, I have to do this. So with PCT, it was more so a question of energy, more so than planning and will, you know? It was more so. And even then, there's a couple more perspectives. At PCT, I had social interaction. I was talking to people. I was talking to a lot of people and talking a lot to people. So when I came back home, I didn't have this need of social. I had this need of social, which is a bad one. You know that you can't charge more than 100%. Well, this time you can overcharge. But not only that, is the fact that I'll need social on social media. And your body has needs. And if those needs are social media, it is social media. An addiction, but it's still social media. For example, I'm used to watching an hour of shorts a day. If I don't watch an hour of short, it's because my day is missing something. Routine is important. Routine is really hard to do when you have a job that's not stable. You know? And then, money has been a big issue. Money has been a big issue because on weeks I work a lot, some weeks I don't work a lot, some weeks I barely work. So whenever I have money extra, I'm always afraid, I'm gonna have to spend it next week. Or whenever I have a week where I work less, I'm like, I'm okay with money because I have savings from last week's paycheck, but I didn't want to use them. I don't think, well, that's not true. I don't think people are spending their paycheck week per week. That's not true. A lot of people live paycheck per paycheck. A lot of people make bad decisions. You know? One of those people. One of those people. See, my father and my mom knows I'm broke. They know that I'm having financial difficulty. So this whole thing about the testament, the will, They're not gonna say it, but it's mostly a fear that I'm gonna spend the money and like this. You understand? It's more so like this. It's more so this. And this is bad. This is really bad. Because the reality is, am I good with money? Possibly. I do spend a lot. But then, last year, I spent a lot because it was for content. It wasn't me buying stuff, it was content for you guys. Funko Pop, games, food. Like I used to do, and this is crazy, I used to do one day out of 1 week, once per week, DoorDash. It was $100 every single time. That's $400 per month. That's $4,800 per year. $4,800. You know, that's a lot. But then you don't think about that, you know? And you're like, okay, well, I go to the restaurant once a week. Not that much. Yeah, but if you order like prime steak or if you order caviar, doesn't matter how often you go, it's how much you spend that matters. You're gonna have this person who will buy every single day, they go to the restaurant every single day, and they'll buy a sandwich. A sandwich is $5. They're still spending less than a person that spent $100, right? My parents with the money, a bit worried. They think that I'm not able to manage a oh my god. They think I'm not able to manage a budget. But the budget itself is a bit odd. It's a bit odd. Because the budget itself is more so a case of budget itself is more so a case of, how can I say that? Money. If you're making $100,000 per year, you're going to have a better budget then. And better budget then. If you have $10,000 per year. And then today my father said something that really resonated with me. He said, I don't know. He said, I know you're good with money because he said, I know how much you're making. And he said, which is for him a big compliment. He said, I don't know how you manage per month to survive. So either he thinks I'm selling drugs, or he thinks that I'm good with money. But then when you ask him, you say, well, Stefan, you didn't work a lot in your life. Now the question is, does he see making content as work? If he doesn't see it like making content, all the days and nights of making content are worthless. Now, that's not an excuse because they've been making content for 4 years. I entered the job market at 20, which was 12 years ago. So 4 years is not a lot. But if he doesn't feel like I'm working, even though I am working, then it's perception of he's just gonna use the money to chill around and sit on his ass. You know? My mom, she's a bit more aware of, they're very different. My dad values hard work, and my mom values money. But she doesn't value money as in she's a gold digger. She's not a really woman. But it's more so the case of, are you able to survive every single month? My mom, I'm gonna survive, she doesn't care. She'll be like, you're able to survive, you're good. And you'll see, my mom, she's more aware of how much time I put in, how much work I put in. You know? But it's just that she's worried that I'm not gonna make it. She's worried that I'm gonna have debt. And shit like that. This is a true story. I never told this. My mom was really like, Mama Bear, you guys know that. So when I opened my first account, right? And this is a story that I'm kind of embarrassed to say. I'm really embarrassed to say. I told this story a lot of times, but I never told you the entire story. You guys remember when I told you the story? Okay, so basically, my mom, she was very Mama Bear, and she had access to my account. To deposit money, but also to deposit money. Right? But then, at the time I wasn't talking to her because we were in a fight. I was done. I need to edit myself because I was hurting people, blah 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 blah. And then she saw the. Guys, remember when I told you the story about the July 2018 when I didn't have enough to pay the rent, I didn't have enough to pay food. So again, very small recap. It is the 21st, 23rd of, I don't know if it's June or July, I don't remember, 2018. And I'm fucked. I pay for my lunch, which is chips and a Coca-Cola or whatever, a energy drink. I don't care. I don't remember. And I do this every single 2 days. Every 2 days we go to the store. Because at the time I don't have Wi-Fi, so we go to the store to get the Wi-Fi. But I go to the store and buy some food, junk food, just to take me today. And then the person at the counter, she looks at me, and I'm at Dorval. You guys saw that? You saw the building too. I showed the building. There's a Walmart. There's a Maxi, and she's like, "Sir, there's not enough money on the card." And I'm like, "No way, no way." So then I'm like, "Holy shit!" And then I told this story multiple times. I'm sorry if you heard the story before. And then I go to fill up a unemployment. So every 2 weeks you get unemployment, you get a check, right? Which is, let's say you make a lot of money at work, the check is gonna be a lot of money. I type in the code and everything. They're telling me you have used all of your weeks. I'm a week away from the rent, and I don't have unemployment. I don't have a job. No, I talked to my janitor. My janitor was really nice. I said, "Listen, I don't have enough money this month. Can you give me a break? I'll pay you twice next month." And I find a job. Now, the truth is, when I had that job, I wasn't talking to my dad and my mom. I wasn't talking to anybody. And the crazy thing that happened, my mom, she saw that account. She saw the account. And she said that I had like $12 in the account. I had $12 in the account. $12. And she's always keeping that memories. She's always keeping like, "Oh my God, you remember when you had $12? And she's more so the fact that I got there. She's more so the fact that I didn't care enough to stop it before I got there. But the reality is, both my parents are checking their accounts. They're checking their accounts a lot. So they'll know exactly how much money there is, and they'll check it every single week. I don't care. I don't care. See, my issue, and again, this is possibly me being a spender. And if it is the case, then I have to come clean and say I do spend. My problem with my money is I never check my account. Because the second I check my account, I spend. So for example, we went to the bank a couple of weeks ago. And I have two accounts. I have one in TD, one with Tangerine. So I realized that I had a lot of money. Well, a lot of money. I had $1,000 in Tangerine. You know the first thing I did? I bought 3 shirts. Now, technically speaking, the shirts weren't expensive. It was like the whole thing. You went there with me. The place where we bought the fake Kinder Bueno. The whole thing was like $100. We don't spend a lot. Then I didn't have energy drinks, so I went to the grocery, convenience store next to my house. Spend again. And I was like, okay, well, you just know that you have money. The first thing that you do is buy. So I like not knowing how much money I have in the bank, because I always think that I have less than what I actually have. And when I think that I have less than what I actually have, then I don't spend. It's a good way to. I was raised like that. I was raised by my father being very cheap, and because I thought it was very cheap, I thought we were broke. I really thought for like the first 16 years of my life, I thought we were broke. Now the reality is, I never asked him, "Do we have money?" Because I thought it was taboo. I thought it was rude. I'm like, okay, well, we're broke, so I'm not gonna spend. And then I realized that no, we have money. He's just cheap. I'm like, oh, bro. I thought it was broke, and because I thought it was broke, I didn't spend. It's kind of funny. This is a true story too. This is crazy. For money, this is possibly one of the craziest story I can tell. Okay, before we start, this was 2011. I had $20 per week for cafeteria. So a meal at the cafeteria cost it was $4.50 or $4.75. So my father was like, "Hey, no way." Okay. I closed because there's water on the phone. This is wet. I had $475 per day. The meal was because of that. He said, listen, I want you to be careful. I will give you enough money to eat the whole week at the cafeteria. Doesn't mean that you have to eat the whole week at the cafeteria. If you keep the money, you can keep it. This is your pocket money. So if you want to keep the money and buy something nice at the end of the year, you can do it. If you want to do, I don't care what you do. Now, the great thing that he did also was there was always food in the fridge. There was always food. So I had a meal. All I had to do was put it in the thermos. That was pretty much it. That was my meal. And I was so fucking broke. This is an insane story. I didn't spend a penny of the allocation money. Not a penny. Not a. And when I say not a penny, I mean not a penny. I bought video games and grade 11, which is last year of high school. I didn't buy a single thing. And then I was so fucking happy because after 5 years I had. Now the problem is, first grade of high school, $20. Last grade of high school, $20. The price increased at the cafeteria. So at the end I had like, oh, let's just say I had like 1,500, 1,600. I was like, I'm fucking balling. I have so much fucking money. And I started working. I was working at Costco. In 1 month, I did more money than I saved up in 5 years. I was like, what the fuck did I save up? You know? So, it was a cool story too. They're worried about me. They're worried about me spending. And you can never understand that. Am I spending? Of course, I think everybody's spending. Am I spending a lot? I don't know. I don't know it's a lot. But I'm broke, so I'm spending out of my means. And in that case, I have a spending problem. I hate. No, wait. I told you guys that I was doing 24 hours this week, which is the truth. The truth is, I don't know how many hours I'm going to do next week. So let's, for example, right? This week we made, let's say 420, 450. Which is great. This is good money. If I say I don't work, then this week we didn't make 420, 450. We made 220 because multiple 5. Because we did work this week, so salary is divided by 2. At 450 per week, I can easily take care of everything. Easily, I'll have money left because that's 1,700 per month. No, that's 1,450 per week. That's 1,800 per month. I need about 900 to live. But then, at the same time, if I don't work, then all the things that I'm doing are not good. And it's also worrying because you're like, I didn't even get my paycheck yet. But I know that I didn't work last week. So like, I know it's not gonna be big. So you create this mentality of, I don't have enough. This is stressful, you know. This is stressful. That's pretty much it. Anyway, I'm expecting. This is why we're not doing as much as we used to do. I'm still trying to be healthy. Still trying to do this in a way of, oh man, I'm not exaggerating. Oh man, I'm not doing X, Y, Z because I can do X, Y, Z. I'm like, what do you feel comfortable doing? If you feel comfortable doing X and Y, that's okay. And it's a lot more healthy. My view of concentration is a lot more healthy. Today, we did 9 hours of content. We didn't work. 9 hours enough? Absolutely. We're doing another 3 hours for the mobile game. That's more than enough. That's more than enough. You just have to convince yourself that, hey, bro, you did good. Stop, you did good. That's the hard part. What people I'm letting down? That's a problem. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Okay, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good, that's good. Two for the money. 3 for the show, 1 for the country, calling me a hoe, dive in, 2 for the money. Let's see if he's live. That's awesome, dude, but don't scream. That's awesome, but don't scream.
I have learned I can survive just about anything.
Okay.
I have learned I can survive.
Why?
J'ai pas peur de t'affronter, moi. T'en souviens?
Okay. This is beautiful. Don't blink, you're buying. Welcome to the show. I'm doing wants to having a wonderful day on this church, July 25. Look at this beautiful sky. I'm going to be doing some more Squid Game recap. Now, we had a little problem. I started making content at an hour at 8 o'clock. We've been filming the same video for an hour 12. So the time that I had for Squid Game is not shorter. So I'm possibly going to be doing an episode or 2. So I'm sorry about that. I tend to do that. I tend to do a lot of content. Yeah. I tend to yap a lot. So I think that was supposed to take 2 minutes, take an hour 12. I don't know if I'm gonna stay out because there's Mosquito City over here and it's mosquito time. But hey, if we can, we can. So I don't even remember where we are. Oh yeah, we are finishing the tug of war. I gotta say, I like having, I really like having the computer only for that. This is a Just World. This is season 1, episode 5. We are already halfway through. We just finished the tug of war. The computer's gonna start, give it time, give it sometimes, give it a little bit of time. I'm gonna go in because I'm getting destroyed by mosquito. But if I go in, my phone's gonna overheat. Shit. Is that a problem? Okay, so it's not working. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna restart the page. Oh, I'm not gonna get the internet. That's a problem. That's a problem. Why don't I start? Because I didn't think about it. I wanted to do something good. We have internet. We have internet. Ladies and gentlemen, we have internet. And the internet was good. 2 for the money, 3 for the show. My name is Louis. Your name is a hoe. Fucking mosquitoes. You got me good too. There you go. Okay. Now I have to check if I'm still uploading. Yes, you are. Good job, King. Good job, King. And there you go. We're connected to the internet. It would be a bit difficult, which is not a big deal. Right? We're okay with that. We're okay with that. With my voice break, I don't fucking know. I should really start doing a better job at preparing, but when you work that much, it's crazy. Now the funny thing is, when you go on Netflix, I'll give you the page that you saw the most, which is, again, oh come on, I can do that. Yeah, no problem. Which is a movie called The Prey of the Devil, which is a really good movie. It's really good. Not good enough for me to watch 4 or 5 times. Yeah, it is Mosquito Town. You should press pause. But if I press pause, it's because you get the good edited content, but at the same time, it's not realistic. It's really not working. There's no way to get out of that. Oh. I got you. Guys, I'm gonna go in. Fuck that. I'm gonna completely obliterated by the mosquito. Stop taking me back there. I'm so sorry, guys. Dive in. Okay, we're there. The camera, Squid Game. Okay, I'm gonna go in and fuck that. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. That's enough. Tired of getting destroyed. Oh. Three for the money, 2 for the shows. I don't know why. I don't know if some people are more likely to get bitten by mosquitoes or not. And I'm a bit allergic to it. Like, I'm a bit allergic to it in a sense where, fuck you. Where I have a reaction to it that's more than other people. Okay. Are you finally ready to start? I am more ready to start. So that's season 1, episode 5. We have the tug of war. And this is kind of nuts because never was there a game where you killed each other. So for example, the first game was green light and red light, which there was no player going against each other. Second one was the candy. There was no player going against each other. The tug of war, there was people going after each other. So now you're basically saying like, okay, well, you're gonna have to kill each other. So now the whole mentality change. It's really cool because you're getting more about the second young girl. So another one with the knife, the other one, are friends. They're both teenager. And this is also super cool because right here, you got the crew of people that don't mind killing. They don't mind killing at all. Then you got our crew of people that do mind killing. So basically what you did there is very bad because on one note you didn't allow them to eat. On the second note, you just broke their not their brain but their moral, right? It's really bad. Yeah, I think the mental capacity and the physical capacity, we see more of the way it goes. The crematorium, which is kind of bad. We see the increase in the salary. We have finally a bit of food, but it's kind of nuts because the food is not enough. It's more, but you still have to do 2 meals, which is kind of nuts. It's a really cool thing because now we're seeing people and they know each other better. You kind of get the touch of the people, right? And also there's a thing where you kind of have a bigger team because there's less people. So people, instead of doing small groups, they went with bigger groups, which ends up not having a second night of infighting. Second night where people don't kill each other. You know, and this is nuts. Because even though there's not a night of infighting, right? Look at this. This is the way they build bed. Now, she's like, okay, well, it's gonna be another war. It's gonna be crazy. And now look what they start doing. Look what they start doing. Look at this. Look at this. They're building barricade. And it is also so good because how do you do it? How do you protect yourself? A lot of people are going to be smart and they're going to do a good job. Some people, they don't know how to defend themselves, so it's a bit harder. You know? The main characters. And he's saying, I'm going to go against you tonight. And the funny thing is, the first thing he said that that's not going to stop me. I'm going against you tonight. Now, for the gangster, this is priorities because the young girl, she owe him money, and the old girl with the cigarettes, she knows a secret that they have an advantage. So this is pretty bad. And the craziest thing is, the first thing he does is he takes the doctor and he's like, yo, give him some information. So the doctor, once it's not gonna be useful, they'll kill him. Now, there's not a proof that they knew each other before, like the gangster and his crew. But still, now what is really cool is they're planning for the night ahead, and it's nice because Squid Game is the whole game. It's not certain games. It's the whole time. Now, there's 40 people left. They close the lights. Now, are we gonna have a second night? I don't remember. I don't think so. I don't think so. Ali and the smart guy, they're very close, which sucks because, like I said, it's a very good narrative. So we like Ali and we don't like the guy with the glasses. So what you do is you put them together. So you like the conversation because you care about one of the characters. But the reality is you're not caring about one of the characters. You're making them closer. So when he kills, it feels a bit more like a betrayal. You know? Now we learn how to escape. He learns the city. The cops get kind of caught because he's not supposed to be there. So if you look here, this is very important. This is the cuffs. You see he has a circle, right? And almost everybody else in the room, they have a triangle. But he has a circle. It's kind of weird. Well, there's two circles, I guess. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I know that they're everything the body, which is important because we know that the guy is a cop. So it's information that he can have for everybody else. And then he knows that certain players, they have an advantage. So he knows the games are kind of rigged. People are getting some weapon. Now the doctor's like, yo, I'm not sleeping enough, I'm not eating enough. The doctor asks for more, which is kind of important. It sucks because Ji-hoon kind of anticipates the night. It's like, yo, I'm gonna have the main character. It's like, I'm gonna have to kill so many people. It's kind of affecting him. You see, they're not killers. But then there's a lot of people. There's everybody in this game. So more of that. I remember this. Ji-hoon have the white flag, and it's like waving the white flag. It's like, oh, I don't want to fight with you guys. And the truth is, this is kind of cool because a lot of people that night were defending themselves versus attacking each other. Because we're defending, if most people are like, hey, I kind of don't want to fight. People don't think that they have to fight. They don't have to fight. The doctor goes a bit crazy. He takes one of the guy hostage, and it's like, yo, I need more food. I need more everything. So he takes a scalpel, and he stabs one of the guard. But at the same time, the guard has a fucking gun. So it's not the same thing. So we see basically a player escape, which is a great narrative thing, because what if some of the players were rebelling, right? And because some of the players are rebelling, you see a lot of what's going on. Like I said, people that think that Squid Game is about the game, it's not about it. It's about the whole thing. It's about the whole entire thing. The police get caught up, right? They get caught into he has to reveal his identity, and nobody ever revealed his identity. So then that's kind of a big deal. This is the doctor again, and he wants to defend himself. I'm not showing you the screen. Oh, feels good, dude. I'm fucking itching like a mofo. Then funny, I spent like how much time did I spend outside in the dark? And I got completely destroyed. The doctor knows that he can't do anything. So then the cop is like, yo, show me how to get out of here. Sorry, I wish I was more entertaining, but there's just so much to retell. Now, what happened, which is kind of cool, is the cops, he learned that there's a way to get out of here. there's a couple of boats that you could use to get out of here. Now the boats are for the VIP, so that's a bit special. We have the frontman who's getting into the game, and when there's infighting, when there's rule breaker, that's when he does it. He's kind of the cops. So for example, this is a guard, and the guard got he got played by the doctor. He got played, he got his weapon stole, a lot of things. And the doctor went way further than he should have had. So this is a problem. Now we don't have a doctor, which is kind of like a bad thing, but still. Now, this is very important. The cops is going through the whole place. And you see that there's a lot of different things. For example, you see the rest of the Squid Game, which are not nice. And you see luxury. Wherever I am, I'm in a good place. This place is important because we see it in the beginning with the frontman. So this is the office of the frontman. And he doesn't know how important the frontman is, but know that this guy is important. It's complex because the cops come in to save his brother, but then you see how bad the game is. It's like, oh, I have to stop this. But at the same time, you kind of had bad intent. Now, the cop is important because, spoiler, and the first season, there's two people that survive. There's him, and there's a player. Which is, I'm not going to say which player, but there's a player. You guys know that there's going to be a player. Let's see if... There you go. You see, it's live.
Yo.
You guys, so I'm gonna have to go soon. I'm gonna finish this episode and then I'm gonna have to go. Honestly, that's pretty much it. Not a lot to say. So now, you get to meet the VIPs. So they're super fucking important. The VIPs are businessmen that... Well, this is a mannequin, but you still see VIPs. They're businessmen that organize the whole thing. We got the night. Not a lot of people died. Now, it is kind of interesting because what you could do is you could just look at the number of players left, and if they died, they died. If they didn't die, they didn't die. Now, here, the dudes find an archive, so every single player that ever played has an archive there. They have a document, like, well, this player was this one. And then he's able to find his brother, right? Which is kind of important. Because at the same time, all he has to do is quit archive. And all he has to do is list a player 2020, and then you find people. Now, we don't know. It's not precise if he found his brother or not. It's not precise. He does find his brother, but not in that way. So then, the funny thing is, these guys, the guard comes in, they're kind of disappointed because nobody killed each other. Nobody killed each other, so like, what the fuck, you were supposed to kill each other. You didn't do a good job. At all. Which is kind of funny. And then, everybody is kind of saying, okay, well, this is bullshit. Those games are bullshit. I'm getting tired of it. Oh, poor guy. The old man was so scared he peed himself. This is so sad. So the cops going through more archive. Again, not precisely if he found his brother or not. Round 6, they still winner. Hang in which is his brother. You know, his brother made a game and he win. The brother's actually really important in the story. It's really, really, really important. Now he actually knows where it is, and hopefully we're gonna see the picture of the brother. Now, this is such a powerful narrative. Such a powerful narrative. I'm gonna show you. Because you know the year. You know the year, and I don't know if you noticed, but they kind of hide his face. They hide the face of the player. Now, his brother is still alive. See, they're hiding the brother. His brother is alive. But the problem here is they could show the face of the brother, but they wouldn't do a difference. They wouldn't do any difference because the brother, how can I say that? The brother played a game, yes, but he's still alive. He's still very present. So the brother, okay, this is spoiler. The brother is the front man, the guy in the black mask. So even though we knew his brother survived, we know it's gonna be the front man, it doesn't really matter because you didn't see the front man's face. So you hide two faces that are the same faces because you hide them twice. You're not actually hiding anything. Because even if we saw the picture, we don't know that he's the guy behind the mask. That's kind of nuts. Anyway, I'm gonna stop here because my TikTok battles are starting, and I'm gonna watch the TikTok battles. So I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.
I have learned I can survive just about it.
I know it's live. Is it live or not?
T'as vu les bœufs devant? Regarde ici. Petit Mini. Regarde Mini. Oui. Regarde. C'est toi. Tu ronronnes. Un petit jour. C'est le mien. Viens le chercher si tu veux. On voit si t'as des coups.
Okay, so Fortnite.